of ancient times, from the foundation of the world to the days of Abraham. Create heaven and earth. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. For the earth was formless and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. God's Spirit moves on the surface of the water. And God said, "Let there be light." Then there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God named the light day. Darkness is night. So there is evening and morning. That was the first day. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters to separate the waters from the waters." He made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. Then it is like that. God named the void heaven. So there is evening and morning. That was the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together to one place, and let there be a dry place." Then it is like that. God named the dry place land, and the place where the waters gather together sea. God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth vegetation. The grass bears seed, and the fruit tree bears fruit, each with its seed on the earth according to its kind." Then it is like that. The earth gives birth to grass. The grass bears seed according to its kind, and the fruit tree has seeds in it according to its kind. God saw that it was good. So there is evening and morning. It was Tuesday. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs to mark seasons and days and years, used as a light in the sky to shine on the earth." Then it is like that. God made two great lights, for greater to rule by day, for smaller to rule by night. He also made the stars. God placed them in the expanse of heaven to give light on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, to separate the light from the darkness. God saw that it was good. So there is evening and morning. It was Wednesday, and God said, "Let the waters bring forth living things in abundance, and let the birds fly above the earth in the expanse of heaven." God created great fish and every living thing that moves through the water, according to its kind, and every flying bird according to its kind. God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the sea, and let the birds multiply on the earth." So there is evening and morning. It was Thursday. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth every living thing according to its kind, cattle, creeping thing, and beast of the field according to their kind." Then it is like that. God made the beasts of the field according to their kinds, the cattle according to their kinds, and all the creatures that creep on the earth according to their kinds. God saw that it was good. Creation of humanity. God said, "Let us make man in our image and likeness, and rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the livestock, and everything that creeps on the ground, and over all the earth." God created man in his own image. He created man in the image of God. He created male and female. And God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth. Subdue the earth, and rule over the fish of the sea, and the birds of the sky, and every living thing that moves on the earth." And God said, "Behold, I will give you every herb bearing seed that is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree yielding fruit with seed. It will be food for you. And to the beasts of the field, to the birds of the sky, and to every living thing on the earth, to every living thing, I have given every green herb for food." Then it is like that. God saw what he had made, and it was very good. So there is evening and morning. It was Friday. Establish Saturday as a holy day. Thus the creation of heaven and earth and all things was completed. On the seventh day, God finished all the work that he had done, and on the seventh day he rested from his work that he had done. Then he blessed the seventh day and made it holy. For on that day he rested from all the work that he had created and finished. This is the origin of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when Jehovah God created the heavens and the earth. Now at that time not a tree had grown in the field, nor a blade of grass had grown in the field, because the Lord God had not yet sent rain on the earth, and there was not a single person. No more cultivating the land. But underground water vapor rose up and watered the entire ground. Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Then man becomes a living being. Garden of Eden scene. Then the Lord God planted a garden in Eden, toward the east, and placed there the man whom he had created. And the Lord God caused the ground to grow every tree that is pleasing to the eye, and whose fruit is good for food. In the midst of the garden was the tree of life, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river flows from Eden to water the garden. Then from there it divides into 4 directions. The name of the first road is Bishan. That way flows around the land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of this land is very high. There is frankincense and jade. The name of the second river is Gin, which flows around the land of Cush. The name of the third river is Hiddeker, flowing east of Assyria. The fourth river is the Euphrates River. Jehovah God brought people into the Garden of Eden to plant and keep it. Then the Lord God commanded him, saying, You may freely eat of every tree in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it, because the day you eat it you will surely die. Set up a marriage ceremony. And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make a helper like him. And the Lord God formed the beasts of the field and the birds of the air from the ground, and brought them before Adam to test them, to see what name he would give them. Each living thing has its own name. Adam gave names to all the livestock, all the birds of the air, and all the beasts of the field. But as for Adam, he could not find a helper like himself. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he took one of his ribs and covered it with flesh. The Lord God used the rib he took from Adam to make a woman, and brought her to Adam. Adam said, This man is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This person will be called woman, because she came from man. Therefore, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Now Adam and his wife were both naked, and were not ashamed. Humanity is tempted and falls into sin. Now of all the beasts of the field that the Lord God had made, the serpent was the most cunning. The snake said to the woman, Why? Has God commanded you not to eat fruit from the trees in the garden? The woman answered and said, We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God has the fruit of the tree that grows in the middle of the garden. Said, You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You will not die. But God knows that in the day you eat from the tree, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. The woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food, that it was pleasing to the eye, and that the fruit was precious to make one wise. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave it to her husband who was standing near her, and he ate it too. Then the eyes of both men were opened, and they realized that they were naked. So they used fig leaves to make loincloths to cover themselves. In the evening, when Adam and his wife heard the voice of the Lord God passing through the garden, they hid themselves among the bushes from the presence of the Lord God. The Lord God called Adam and said, Where are you? Adam answered and said, I heard the voice of the Lord in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and hid myself. God said, Who showed you that you were naked? Did you eat the tree I told you not to eat? He said, The woman whom you placed near me gave me fruit from the tree, and I ate it. The Lord God said to the woman, What have you done? The woman answered and said, The serpent deceived me, and I ate. Hen, the Lord God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, cursed be you above all livestock, and above all the beasts of the field. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust from the ground. Life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel. And he said to the woman, I will greatly increase the tribulation of her child. You will have pain every time you give birth. Your lust shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. And he said to Adam, Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree of which I commanded you not to eat, cursed is the ground because of you. You will have to endure hardship all your life to eat what the earth produces. The earth will bring forth thorns and thistles, and you will eat the vegetables of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat until you return to the land from which you came. For you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Adam called his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all mankind. The Lord God made robes of animal skins for Adam and his wife, and clothed them. Jehovah God said, Behold, to know good and evil, the man has become one like us. Now therefore let us beware, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Then the Lord God drove the man out of the Garden of Eden to cultivate the land, where people come from. So he drove the man out of the garden, and placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim with a flaming sword and blade to guard the way to the tree of life. The story of Cain and Abel. Adam lived with Eve, his wife. She conceived and gave birth to Cain, and said, With the Lord's help I have given birth to a man. Eve gave birth to Cain's brother, Abel. Abel was a shepherd, and Cain was a farmer. Now after a while, Cain offered the produce of the ground as an offering to the Lord. Abel also offered the firstlings of his flock and its fat. The Lord looked favorably upon Abel and accepted his offering. But he did not regard Cain nor accept his offering. So Cain was very angry and frowned. The Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why is your face downcast? If you do good, will you not lift up your face? But if you do not do good, sin is waiting at your door, craving you. But you must govern it. Cain told his brother Abel. Now while they were in the field, Cain rushed upon his brother Abel and killed him. The Lord asked Cain, Where is your brother Abel? Said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? Jehovah asked, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. Now you will be cursed by the earth, which opened its mouth to absorb your brother's blood, which you spilled by your own hand. When you plant and prune, the land no longer produces fruit for you. You will wander and hide on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is too heavy for me to bear. Behold, today you have driven me out of this land. I will flee from your presence. I will be a wanderer and a fugitive on the earth. Then, if anyone meets me, they will kill me. Therefore, if anyone kills Cain, his vengeance will be on him 7 times, saith the Lord. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain's body, so that whoever found Cain would not kill him. Then Cain withdrew from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. The descendants of Cain. Then Cain had sex with his wife, and she conceived and gave birth to Enoch. Cain built a city and named it Enoch after his son. Then Enoch begat Irad. Irad begat Mehujael. Mehujael begat Methusael. Methusael begat Lamech. Lamech married 2 wives. One was named Adah, the other was named Silah. Adah begat Jabal. Jabal was the father of the people who lived in camps and raised livestock. His brother was Jubal, the father of the harpists and flute players. And Sila also gave birth to Tubal-Cain, who forged all kinds of sharp weapons of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister was Naamah. Then Lamech said to his two wives, O Adah and Sila, hear my voice. Behold, wife of Lamech, listen to my words. Yes, I killed someone because he hurt me, and a young man because he beat me up and bruised me. If Cain were to be avenged 7 times, Lamech will be avenged 77 times. Seth was born. Adam still lived with his wife, and she bore a son, whose name was Seth. Because of his wife, God has given me another son in place of Abel, whom Cain killed. Seth also fathered a son, and he named him Enosh. From here, people began to call on Jehovah's name. Genealogy of Adam, from the line of Seth to the line of Noah. This is the book that records the descendants of Adam. In the day that God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. Male and female, he created them, and blessed them, and in the day that they were created, he called them man. And Adam was 130 years old, and begat a son in his likeness, and he called his name Seth. After Adam begot Seth, he lived 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. So Adam lived for 930 years, and then he died. Seth was 100 years old, and became the father of Enosh. After Seth fathered Enosh, he lived 807 years, and begot sons and daughters. So Seth lived for 912 years, and then he died. Enosh was 90 years old, and became the father of Kenan. After Enosh begat Kenan, he lived 815 years, and begot sons and daughters. So Enosh lived 900 years, and then he died. Kenan was 70 years old, and gave birth to Mahalalel. After Kenan gave birth to Mahalalel, he lived 840 years, and begot sons and daughters. So Kenan lived to be 910 years old, and then he died. Mahalalel was 65 years old, and became the father of Jared. After Mahalalel gave birth to Jared, he lived 830 years, and begot sons and daughters. So Mahalalel lived for 895 years, and then passed away. Jared was 162 years old, and begat Enoch. After Jared begot Enoch, he lived 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. So Jared lived 962 years, and then he died. Enoch was 65 years old, and begat Methuselah. After Enoch begat Methuselah, he walked with God 300 years, and had sons and daughters. So Enoch lived 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and then he was gone, because God took him away. Methuselah was 187 years old, and became the father of Lamech. After Methuselah gave birth to Lamech, he lived 782 years, and had sons and daughters. So Methuselah lived for 969 years, and then he died. Lamech was 182 years old, and he gave birth to a son, and he named him Noah. He said, This one will comfort me in my work, and in the toil with which the earth puts me to work, the land that Jehovah has cursed. After Lamech begat Noah, he lived 595 years, and begot sons and daughters. So Lamech lived 777 years, and then he died. And Noah, when he was 500 years old, begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The wickedness of mankind increases. And when men multiplied on the face of the earth, and when they had given birth to daughters, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took as wives those who pleased them. My spirit will not abide in man forever, saith Jehovah. In error man is but flesh. Human life will be only 120 years. In that age and in the age to come, there will be a great man on the earth, because the sons of God will live with the daughters of men and of children. Those brave people of the past were famous heroes. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that the thoughts of his heart were only evil. Then he blamed himself for creating mankind on earth, and was sad in his heart. I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, saith the Lord, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and fowl of the air, because I blame myself for creating those species. Noah received favor. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. These are the descendants of Noah. Noah was a righteous and blameless man in his days, walking with God. 10 Noah fathered 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Shipbuilding. The world at that time was corrupt before God and full of wickedness. Behold, God looked upon the world and saw that it was corrupt, because all flesh had corrupted its way on earth. Then God said to Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me. Because of man, the earth is filled with violence. So I will destroy them and the earth. You shall make an ark of gopher wood, each room by room, and plaster the inside and outside with pitch. Therefore, make it like this. The length of the ark is 300 cubits, its breadth 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. On the ark you shall make a window 1 cubit high, and leave a door on the side. You shall make one below, one in the middle, and one above. As for me, I will send a flood over all the earth to destroy all flesh and the breath of life under heaven. Everything that is on the earth will die. But I will make a covenant with you, and you and your wife, your children and your daughters-in-law, shall all enter into the ark. Of all the living creatures, you shall bring into the ark a pair of each species, male and female, to keep them alive with you. Birds according to their kind, cattle according to their kind, every creeping thing according to its kind. 2 of each will come to you, that you may keep them alive. Also, take all kinds of food and bring it with you, to keep it as food for you and those living things. Noah did these things just as God had commanded him.